Welcome back to DTV 1, 2, and 3, and we're back here to yap to you today about a very under-talked about topic, in my opinion, at least. So we're talking about today an MMO player that had the chance of achieving something that literally no one in the world has achieved before, and he was right on the precipice of it, right on the cusp, in his sweet, sweet hands, and he threw it all away.
He didn't throw it away. He threw it up on the line, you know? It's not like anything's final right now. Maplestory's devs still haven't made any conversation
spoilers, man. You're supposed to say spoilers, bro.
We all know
what are we going to wait, 13 minutes before we talk about this?
I was going to build it up a little bit. I was going to hype it up.
We need to talk about the hero, Niru. Niru?
Niru.
Yeah. Niru is the hero of this story.
Yeah, but to give, I guess, some clarification into what the fuck we're talking about. I don't know if we passed a minute. Whatever, fuck it. Fuck it. Anyways.
We're passing it by a couple minutes there.
Hey, maybe I believe it, bro. Maybe. Who knows? Anyways, fuck it. To give some context as to what we're talking about, there is an MMO player that goes obviously by the name of Niru, who spent 34 months of his life, that's over 2 years, close to 3.
10 hours a day, at least.
10 hours a day, 34 months of his life, playing Maplestory in order to grind and achieve the max level of level 300. And just to give some context as to how long that would actually take as well, and why it's such a big deal, level 295, if you hit that, you are 1/3 of the way to level 300.
Which is insane.
It's actually insane. Yeah,
it's like RuneScape tiers of leveling, man. It is absolutely asinine the amount of XP this man has grinded into this game.
Yeah, man, it's absolutely ridiculous. And to top it all off, as well, it's on the harder server too. So there's two different types of servers that, and this is important as well into the context of why Niru didn't pass over to 300. There's two different types of servers in Maplestory. One of them being heroic, and the other one being interactive. That's what it was. One of them being heroic, and one of them being interactive. The difference between the two is pretty much heroic is you're playing an MMO, but it's almost like you're playing single player. You're not allowed to trade items with people. You're kind of just grinding on your own. You're more money drops from the mobs. You're not allowed to.
It's a traditional RPG versus the MMORPG that Maplestory is known for.
Pretty much, yeah. And the interactive server, there's more interaction, where there's markets that you can trade items on to people with. There's auctions. There's gambling. There's a whole lot more in the the server, but less people actually play on the interactive server. Simply because in order to achieve, the highest tier loot and everything on the interactive server, there's these things called cubes, which to just lightly explain what a Maplestory cube is, and just obviously a preface, none of us here play Maplestory. I used to play it a great deal back in middle school, but I haven't touched the game in a long, long time. But they had cubes even back then. Cubes pretty much you just put the item in the cube, you pay real life money. With the item in the cube, it rerolls the stats, and hopefully you get something good. Completely unreliable. Crazy. It's not, it's not great.
It's just gambling.
Yeah, it's just literally just gambling. Yeah, literally just gambling. It's really, really not fun and aids to do on your highest tier loot. I believe at 1.2 it could break, and you have to pay money to revive the item. Crazy.
Yeah. We love real money transactions in our fantasy RPGs.
Korean MMO. What are you going to do? Anyway.
What can you do?
Anyways. But yeah, so that's pretty much how it is on the interactive server, which Niru plays on, and that is considered obviously, the harder servers to play on and, achieve whatever. And also, the guy in second place, by the way, not even close. The guy in second place is a year or something off of Niru. It's an insane amount. The guy in second place is at 297, I think, and he just still has a very, very long way to go. So Niru is completely in the clear. But the reason getting down to the reason why Niru didn't want to pass over to 300 is because Nexon, the company that owns Maplestory and runs it, they've been like improving things over the past couple of months. But there was a rumored update specifically that got people talking, that the interactive worlds were going to be nerfed and take like a hit in order to favor a buff for the heroic worlds, which is where the main player base plays and stuff like that. So that got people talking, and there's obviously been a bunch of problems in interactive with like drop rates, grinding. There's a whole 9 yards. Pretty much.
I read something about it. It's like a top tier item. There's only 30 of them on the market. So the market is so chokehold to being overpriced that you can't actually get anything from it.
Yeah, and on top of that, it's just there's a lot of problems with the interactive worlds at the moment. And Niru wanted to take some time to highlight it when he went on his stream to thousands of people, because people were all hype and ready. His first guy to hit 300 Maplestory. The first
24K peaked.
The first guy in the whole
It was being
world.
It was such a hype event. Like even the devs were putting out banners in game, linking to the stream. They were putting out tweets and everything. This guy was getting so much publicity, which makes his decision all the more surprising. Like the best part is
bro took his stand.
He did, but the instant he started talking like real shit like that, they took down their banners. The devs, they took it all down immediately.
As far as I was aware too, it wasn't never his intention to actually not level up to 300. But the more he just kind of just sat there and talked, they were on this like 40 minutes. He uploaded to his YouTube channel. This like 40-minute like not a rant, but like I guess
it's kind of a rant.
Yeah, a rant, yeah. Just 40-minute rant.
It's pretty much a rant.
He realized he's like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Not until they fix the shit that they should fix. And he just stopped right there, 2 clicks away. Because he was going to use items to level up. He was 2 clicks away. I'm leveling up to 300. Nope. I'm good.
Which is like really surprising. Like usually you'd think something like this is premeditated, like he wanted to get as much traction as he could, but he literally just sat there and thought, what am I doing? Like I have a really golden opportunity. He decided to seize it. Whether that's going to work out or not, we don't know. Rumor has it from Maplestory players, I watched a couple of videos on it, they are better recently. The devs have been getting better. They've been trying to improve it, but the fact that they are trying to take away from interactive because it's their smaller player base is a bit absurd, easily. Because even though it's only 20-30% of your player base, that's still 20-30% of your player base. No matter how small the actual number is, you should not be punishing your players for playing the game. Instead, you're going to be trying to elevate them up to get the game more popular.
Yeah, it's kind of like disheartening and sad to see like them kind of just cast them aside, and even with the whole Niru situation, as you mentioned before, Jeremy, where like they didn't address any of what he said. They just completely ghost. They're not
radio silence,
not mentioning anything. They took like you said, he took down the banners. They took down everything. It's just they're just not talking about it. They're just kind of hoping it just goes away. From what I've seen around on the subreddit, people still talk about it. And Niru has even like addressed, what they sent him. They sent him like literal like statues and stuff like that, like physically to his house. There's some pretty cool goodies they gave him and everything. But as far as like the community sentiment on, people start standing with him. A majority of people, whether they were on heroic or interactive, are standing with Niru because they want to see the game that they play, be better and hold Nexon accountable. But unfortunately, as with most things, they're a very loud minority, and it seems that the player base hasn't come together to actually stop playing the game thus far. And like stand with Niru, and the player base is just, or the peak number, not peak, but like the numbers for the game, the same as they've been. So it's not like anyone's actually stopping to play the game. Other than Niru, people are still spending their money, people are still grinding out, whatever. It's and who knows if if Nexon takes the stay silent approach and
let it ride out.
Just let it ride out, and hopefully it'll be forgotten. It'll work out that way if the players don't do anything much.
I mean, it's hard to ask for a player base to just stop playing the game they enjoy. I mean, I'm sure it was hard for Niru, honestly. That amount of support he was getting from the devs alone shows that they cared about his achievement and how much time he put into the game. But he's kind of just forced them to make a decision. And impassiveness is unfortunately the real consequence that can come from this.
Since then, though, I mean, he's been streaming other games. So there's he's on like A little middling success. He's had like a 1K viewers for like most other games. You know, he plays like, I think I saw him play Super Mario Kart or something like that.
Yeah. Support the other company.
Yeah, the other great company.
The other great company we love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that.
But that's a whole other fucking video. But stand with him in spirit. They don't actually stand with him on the lines of like actuality. I even saw a post. It got done with it, to be fair, but I even saw a post of like, am I the only one that thinks Niru was wrong for what he did? You get some people actually agreeing on the side of Nexon, like why that what he did was disrespectful and all this other stuff. And again, granted, that post was downvoted to oblivion.
I mean, it is disrespectful for how much they've given him to like give him a giant platform to perform, like did this event on to make history in the game. They sent them things to commemorate it. It is disrespectful, but he's standing up for something he really cares about. He's not doing it just because it's how he feels. Like he's looking at objective issues with the game, bringing up evidence and saying, "Hey, this needs to change. Like this is really not good for the game." And that's honestly even more impressive regarding this whole situation. Because if he was just entitled, that's one whole like whatever, man. He's just a big crybaby. But these are legit issues that plague other MMOs. Like he's trying to get the game to be better.
I mean, as someone from like I guess an outside point, because like I didn't do much research on this. So I was like, I'm going to go in with, like, a blank thought process on this so I can, like, hear what happened. I feel like, yeah, they gave him stuff, but he played this game for 34 months, 10 hours a day, something like that. He's probably poured hundreds of dollars, if not more, into the game. So, I mean, commemorative statue, I don't know how much that would charge them. I don't know. But, I mean, he already gave them more than enough for, a normal video.
Oh, yeah.
And he's taking a stand to help them. Because if they listen to him and actually help out the player base, they're more than likely going to make more money. In my thought process. That could be wrong. I don't know. But, I mean, if they were to help out the player base and eventually grow the player base because of it, I mean, they'd probably be able to, rake in even more cash. So, I don't know.
So the big problem...
I feel like...
Sorry, but the big problem from my understanding is he wants to reduce a lot of the RMT, not eliminate it. He wants to make it much more manageable and obtainable if you want to go that route. And he wants to make achieving it in-game much more attainable than it is almost impossible to do some things for end-game, apparently. But that would cost them more money in the short term. But the long-term growth would be there. It's just a matter, do they care about the short term or the long term, which we can't speak for, obviously. Most corporations care about the short term because... I'm just gonna drop this game anyway if it dies.
Quarterly statements type shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. They gotta show their shareholders, hey man, this little bar graph, it went up.
We're still making money.
Oh, invest.
Also, just a little side note, something that's a bit ridiculous. Like the little cubes I was talking about to reroll the item stats and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a Korean MMO, so it's obviously very big in Korea. Korea usually gets like the patch a couple months before the rest of the servers get the patches. Everything. But in Korea, this is in USD. The cubes in Korea cost 10 US less than what they do over in other servers. Mm-hmm. Just a little side note. We just find it a little bit ridiculous. I'm not gonna lie. But,
it is.
Yeah. That's just like another thing. But something I do want to kind of just like be highlighted. What Niru did and kind of like why he did it. I also thought to myself like kind of like what is Niru like? What are his thoughts on how does he regret what he did? Or anything? Does he wish to come back and level up to 300? Does he feel like he can't do it? Whatever. I actually did find a post by deleted, but at the time
deleted.
It was Niru on a alt Reddit account. The post was made 9 days ago as of this recording. And it's titled, "I will stand by my decision. If that means Voldemort, then so be it." Pretty much Niru goes into a long, paragraphed, multiple paragraphs, like essay onto, saying that he is just standing by his decision and he will not return the game until everything that he listed is fixed. And if what he means by if that means Voldemort, then so be it, is that people have been getting not banned but punished for kind of like bringing him up and like mentioning him around official like events and like Nexon people, stuff like that, and even like I don't think in game, but people are, they're not
turned
being,
into he who shall not be named.
yeah, pretty
AKA
much.
Voldemort.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I feel like if there are people that are actually like stalling the game or they're trying to, I guess, troll the devs, they'll probably go around and they'll be like, "Oh, Voldemort said this," just so, like as just like a nod to his post or even just like his sentiment about his post, which I mean that's hilarious.
He also mentioned in this post, I'm reading a little bit to it now, that the people that are saying like demands and like F Nexon, and like hostage situation and all that, he's saying that those are not his words, and that he gets that people are saying these things because of his thoughts that he brought up and everything, and he supposes that he's like sort of the blame for that, but he doesn't, he wants people to know that he's not angry at Nexon themselves. He was just kind of like relaying just stuff that needs to be changed and improved, to just help the game. He wasn't really angry about it, is what he was trying to say. But it kind of turned into this movement, with people, being upset and taking it a little bit further than he had originally anticipated it to go. So, but regardless, he stands by it.
I mean, yeah, if you're big enough to the point where you're gonna go on, like, if you're a big enough streamer and you have a big enough following, and then you go on a 30-minute rant about, oh, this is bad, that's bad, this could be better, this blah 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 blah, so on and so forth down the list. I mean, even if it's like a quarter of the people that watch that take it to the extremes. I mean, I think you said what? He peaked at like 23,000 viewers
24.
that day. 24. A quarter of that. That's 6,000 people. And then those 6,000 people spread it and they twist words. And I mean, unfortunately, that's just what's going to happen if he's going to, like, when you take a stance,
it's always going to get taken.
Objective stance, it's going to get taken.
It's like playing the game of telephone. It never makes it to the end, right?
So, like, if say, God forbid, the people at Nexon it is, right?
Yep, Nexon.
If all that they're seeing is the end of that game of telephone, and it's basically just like, oh, fuck them, fuck you, everything like that, they're not going to want to change shit for him. They're just going to see it as, oh, he said that he hates us and he's not going to play our game. And then they're just going to be like, all right, peace.
See ya.
Something else that Niru mentions here, it's just kind of like interesting to read. Obviously, I'll link all of the Reddit posts that we use down below as well. But was that totems were another thing. I'm not going to get too specifically into it, but totems were another big pain point for Niru and the interactive world. It's kind of similar to the cubes, where it's like an item system upgrade thing. But he was actually offered to go to Nexon HQ. And kind of like finish out the level 300 there on stream. He also said that they wanted to interview him, and he was obviously given like a list of questions to prepare for the interview. And they said they didn't want any mention of like totems or cubes or anything, because it was a sensitive topic.
I wonder why.
Yeah. So instead he was like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, instead I'll just do like a post level up interview, and that way that you would get to answer like different questions and all that stuff. But yeah, so for now, Niru doesn't regret his decision. It seems at least 9 days ago.
I mean, even if he does, he's gonna stand by it regardless at this point, right? Like, you can't back down.
Yeah,
you can, but it would look really fucking.
It would
bad.
look extremely.
I mean,
bad.
if you were to back down, then I mean, there would be the people that are like, oh, he decided, he put this much time into it.
Yeah.
But then there would also be the people that are like, oh, he got, the Nexon hit squad put after him.
Borderline
if he didn't level it up.
3 years of work thrown on the line for potentially nothing. But it's the only way change will be sparked, realistically.
Yeah. If he doesn't stick by his word, then it just, I mean, everything that he said just gets, like,
invalidated.
thrown out the window. Yeah.
It's like, oh, you'll play my game anyway.
Oh yeah, you don't care enough to actually stand by your view? Alright.
Also,
we ain't changing shit.
Apparently in the replies, the next person who is supposedly going to overtake the guy in second place technically right now. And it's going like on pace to overtake them. Is a woman named Luna, or she plays on the world Luna. I'm not sure, maybe both. But she pays people to play on the account 24/7. So if and when that person hits 300, probably going to be a whole other controversy.
Yep, probably.
So yeah, man, it's
that's tough.
Yeah.
Tough situation to be in.
A real, a real fuck you to Nexon, and a real that would actually make them spur some change into them for the game, would be if the next person that reaches that threshold decides to follow Niru's footsteps and do
that would be
only time will tell for that.
That's
That's probably what you said, like another year away.
Yeah, and again, I don't know these people. I'm not too big into the Maplestory scene or anything. So, I don't know if they'll do it. I don't know if, but I'm sure they're getting pestered and badgered about it, and they also have a lot of time to think about it.
Yeah.
So, who knows? But, yeah. Yeah.
We'll keep you posted whenever something happens.
Yeah, I mean, we'll mention it. We'll get back to it. Hell, maybe start my hop back on Maplestory. Nope.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Hey, I used to pull Niru hours back in middle school, bro. That's all I'll tell you.
Hey, if only you spent all of your high school doing that, you could have been the first 300.
300 wasn't out back then, actually.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Sorry, sir.
My apologies. Guys. Thanks for watching.
My apologies, sir.
Yeah,
we'll catch you next time.
Drop a like, subscribe. If you guys want to hear us talk about more, gaming topics, discussions, etc. If you have a topic to throw at us,
please let us know.
Yeah, throw down the comments. We'll reply. We always reply to everything that we can. Check out our shorts as well. We got pretty entertaining shorts where we play games with one another, and about gaming, games about gaming, and
cash.
And
games make games with games.
Yeah, exactly. So check out our other content. If you want to hear about...
Alright, you're going too long, dog.
The black market of Steam. It's right there. Somewhere. Somewhere there.
Let them cook.
Let them cook.
Yeah, black market of Steam. Yeah, check that out.
The black market of Steam. Anyways.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways.
Yeah, the Steam black market.
Have a good one. Bye.
Take care.
Thank you.